All right, everybody, it's 2 o'clock and we had an appointment at
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Oh, some people know their scripts. You have what I had? All right, so we're going to get started. I'm going to start with this really incredible video that I'm sure some of you have seen, and it's an incredible refresher as well to watch once again. So we're going to get started with this, and then we're going to jump in, and I am going to be my best Gary Keller that I can possibly be. I even wore his favorite dress. All right. I know, I feel like we should applaud and stand up. It's like, whew. Okay, so I wanted to start us off with that because I think it's incredibly powerful. So who was at Family Reunion and got to watch that live? Who in this room? Awesome. All right, who else has seen that before? Good, a few of you. Okay, so here's the thing. This is so exciting because we are entering an age where technology is going to become such a conduit for your business to help you do things better, do them much more simply, and to be able to touch more people. So I'm going to give you the presentation that Gary Keller gave to us as leadership on our first day on Saturday morning, and then we're going to dig into the system, and I'm going to show you some of the features and the benefits that we have, and then we're going to have an open discussion around how it's going to help you in your business and what you can do today to start utilizing Command and all of our incredible technology. How does that sound? Good? Okay, we're going to be an interactive and energetic class, okay? Because this is the biggest class we've had so far today, so we're going to have some energy, all right? We got to get the people watching on live excited as well.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, you're not on camera. Only I'm on camera. They can't see you. Don't worry, Juliana. They can't see you. You can only see me. All right. So, who's seen this drawing before? The hockey stick. All right. So every business has an opportunity to go through 4 phases. Got 1 right here, 2, 3, and 4, which propels you to here. So Keller Williams has thrived in this area here, where we serve our clients, we sell houses, we list businesses, and we stay the status quo. Yet what happens to our business if we stay there? Does this, or it does that, right? So in order for us to grow and go to the next level, we've got to do something. We've got to innovate. So Gary Keller says that we are actually in the 4th industrial revolution. What is that revolution? Technology. Data and technology. So we are entering and in, really, we're pretty much in it, the 4th industrial revolution, which is technology. And so we've got to innovate and gather data to move us forward in this loop so that we can get from here to here. So other companies that have innovated and crossed that border would be who? Who are some people in the real estate world that have crossed that border and that are? Zillow. Yep. Zillow, Realtor.com. They are in the data grab. And why is that? Why are they out there trying to get all this data?
Data is knowledge.
That's how people buy.
Data is knowledge. Data is power. Data leads to revenue. Right? So they're in this grab for data. You got Zillow and Realtor.com. Well, good news, with all the new technology, we have jumped and crossed the bridge and we are in that field with them. We're actually outpacing them because we have the agents. Because without the agents and without the information, you really don't have any data. You have a great platform. So that's why Gary Keller has spent the past 3 to 4 years focused on technology. So he stepped out of the CEO role a long time ago, and he replaced himself with Miss Mo Anderson. And he recently stepped back in. And there's a lot of people asking, well, what happened to John? And where did he go? And why is Gary back? And well, you know what? It doesn't really matter. All that matters is we now have a leader and a CEO who's so in alignment with helping you run your business and be protected from people trying to step in and take your commission, that we're in complete alignment. And so, how does this all play out for you guys? So, the whole purpose behind our technology, and I'm going to go into the why, and a lot of you have seen this, and yet Don Yeager says people need to be reminded more than they need to be instructed. So we need to be reminded of the why behind all of this so that we understand the power that it can have in the future for us. So in this technological world that we're in, we've got AI down here. So we've got what we call a platform. And a lot of people mess up platform and they say that, you know, like Facebook is a platform. What else would you guys call a platform?
Foundation.
Yeah, actually that's right. Girl. Love it. So a lot of times people say that like Facebook or Netflix, or they're the platform. They're not. They're one of the tools being hosted by the platform. The platform is where the data lives. The platform is where all these things can plug in and become unified to work together. So we've got our platform here. This is Keller Cloud. And so then we've got these 3 bodies in which we function. We've got your consumers, we've got you, the agent, and then the market center. And they all need to communicate. And so currently, what are we doing? We've got market center here, we've got you here, we've got your consumer here, and then you've got all these other products and things in between connecting to then tell everybody all these things. Does that kind of look familiar to what you're doing now? Oh, and then down here are a bunch of Excel spreadsheets to map it all out, right? So you can remember your passwords and all that fun stuff, right? So that's what we currently have. Well, what we've built is a platform that communicates in unison. And it's hosted by this platform down here. So we have all of these systems in here. So what these are and how they work for you guys. So we've got your consumer, the agent, and the market center. Well, guess what? Green sheets going away, people. They are gonna be gone. And there's a fun little video if you want to watch it. Literally, there are some offices still doing the paper green sheets. We're gone. We're done with green sheets. Because everything's linked. And I'll show you in the story what that means. So here you're going to have what's called Cloudmore. The agent, we're going to have Connect. That's going to connect us all. So we have that right now, right? That's where we go to get our calendar and all of our videos and downloads and so on. It's going to change, and yet the concept is still the same. Then you're going to have Command. You're going to have the consumer app, which we just watched, kw.com, etc. So you're going to have all of these functioning together with this right underneath it, with all of the data. So that everything communicates as one. You're not going through another system to another system, so on. Everything's communicating as one unit. So Gary Keller went to Google about 6 months ago, and we have a partnership, an exclusive partnership with Google, and he showed them what we wanted to build. And he asked him, all right, how long would it take you to build this? Someone else, how long would it take them to build it? Does anyone who was there remember how long? 4 years. 2 years if they had the data, 4 years if they didn't, right? Or more, 4 to 5. And so you think about all these companies, there's lots of real estate companies around the globe, yet they don't share their data. What one unique advantage did we have that we've been sharing our data since 87, 89? Heard someone say it. What data and information have we been sharing? We're an open book company because why? Profit share. So since we started sharing our profits, we as a company had to have a system in which to share that data and be connected. Because you can sponsor someone in New Mexico and physically be here in Maine. You can sponsor someone in Canada. You could sponsor someone in France. And so we needed to have a way to communicate and connect that data. So unlike other real estate companies that franchise out, they never shared their data. So we had this unique advantage on the front end where we were connected. We also track all of our numbers. We have our multi-year trends, and so we were tracking all of this information. So that's the power behind it. So now we have 180,000 agents that are using this system and helping it get smarter every single day. Whereas no other company has that power behind it to help it get smarter. So this is all powered through the platform and through you using it to help it get smarter. Now, in just 1 year, since I went to my first lab with Gary in January of last year, to what we saw at Family Reunion, it blows my mind. Because when I went there, they only had about 60 people working in technology, and now they have over 300 working at our company to develop this technology. So, questions so far? We're going to be interactive, and I want to make sure you all are really grasping it. It's exciting, isn't it? Yes?
Yeah, so it's dot loop and everything already, but what about zip forms? What about forms from MAR?
Yeah. So you guys all have zip forms, and then a lot of you take your zip forms and you put them into DocuSign, and then you take them from DocuSign and you put them into .loop. And then you have this whole fun process, right? Right? Yeah. It's like 3-step process. So I'm going to show you some things in our system that are actually going to eliminate almost every single step of that process. So that everything, again, is going to be in here. In your command, you're going to have contract management. You're going to have all of that right there and be able to submit to the office and have it tracked all through one system to take away all those extra fun steps that you do, right? Fun. All right, awesome. Great question. Any other questions on the why? Yes?
No, I'm just thinking, is the program also going to have like an email where you can do mass emails?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll go through all that. I'll show you all the features of it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So Shannon, I think one thing that Gary mentioned is very helpful is if you can think of it sort of like Amazon and Netflix, and when you go to those sites and how it has all of your stuff, they know what you like, they track your patterns and things like that. We're going to be sort of the real estate.
We are Netflix, is what Gary says. We are Netflix.
Just the visual that I have.
So that's the thing, and we talked about this morning in the commercial meeting. Imagine you go to just the kw.com website, and I use it as an example because we all know we've all visited it at least once. Just you go to the KW website, or your consumer goes to it. Every single person that goes to that website sees the exact same thing. Now, when you go to Netflix or you go to Amazon, what do you see? Exactly. It's customized to you. Whether, even when you're not logged in, which is a little weird, right? I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not logged into the account, and yet it knows that I should probably order that John Maxwell book, right? And so that's what we're doing, is we're going from the one-to-many to one-to-one relationship and communication, because people want to receive information the way that they want to receive it. So it goes back to, and I tie a lot of stuff back to the love languages. You guys know that, and you've heard me do it before. And it's when we communicate out to people, we communicate commonly, we communicate in the language that we feel comfortable with. Same with speaking a language. We communicate out the way that we want to, the way that we feel comfortable receiving that information. Yet when we're talking to someone who doesn't feel comfortable receiving that information that way, it can create a little dissonance, can't it? So imagine if all of a sudden I started giving this presentation in French. Would that create a little dissonance in this room? A little confusion, right? And a little bit like, maybe we should not sit here and waste another 45 minutes in French, right? So it's the same thing when you're communicating with your consumer. If you're not delivering them the information they want, they're on to the next. So the goal is to get to a one-to-one, like CJ said, is to create that unique experience so that when they're in their site and on your app and in your portal, it's not about you, it's about them. And it's the information that they want to see. And so now we're going to go into it and see what it is we have to start creating that one-to-one relationship, all right? Ready?
Yes.
Ready? Yes. Dan says yes. Get this up. Let's go. All right. So I want you all to memorize this URL. Ready? It's really difficult. Agent dot kw.com. That's it. Agent.kw.com. Memorize it, save it. That's it. Just memorize it and save it. And use it. All right, so let's go to it. All right, so you will usually see a portal that will have you log in, and you're going to use your KW username and password. If you forget it, don't worry. Heather is happy to help, and we can email KW support. We can get your passwords changed. Don't worry. I'm just saying, if they forget their password, don't worry. If they forget this. Yeah, should be.
Okay, Kathy, Manchester.
It's on YouTube. The link's on the Facebook page. There's Anthony. He can help her. Woo! All right. Anthony's young and techie, and we love him. All right. So this is what you'll have. Once you log in, then you'll have this portal here. And these are all the features and benefits that we have in Command. So I'm going to run down the side. Let me zoom in. Let me go closer here. All right, so I'm going to run down the side, and we're going to talk about what each one is before we jump in and look at what each one has for features and benefits. Okay? So first one is contacts. This is going to be your new CRM, your contact management system that you're going to use to communicate with your clients. Then you've got smart plans. So these are going to be plans and campaigns that you can set up when your client goes under contract or you receive a new open house lead. These are going to be smart plans that run, that send you notifications on action items, that send automatic emails, and then help you navigate through the process. So kind of like reminders, as you set reminders on your iCal, except it's going to do it for you. Then you've got, skip one, referrals. There we go. You've got referrals. So we've had this for a while, right? So referrals are where you can connect with brokers around the globe and send and receive referrals directly through the system, and it will track it for you. Opportunities. This is going to be your contract management pipeline. So where you will be able to track from appointment or the first time you meet someone all the way through when they close. We'll go through this one pretty in depth so you guys can see it. This is where you'll submit your documents, all your compliance, everything right in one spot. And it's even going to project your possible versus actual income. Lead Accelerator. The Lead Accelerator is where you can create ads for Facebook, Instagram, Google, you name it on the web. You can create an ad curated to either boost a listing or just to attract more clients. You can also go in and do direct mailers around certain addresses. You can pull in your own listing and it'll pre-populate all of the listing information from KWLS, photos, etc. And you can then send out postcards through the system around targeted areas. Reporting. This is going to be all of your reports. So all of those awesome multi-year trend reports, your percentages, as you track your deals through the system, these reports are going to show you, hey, so it looks like you went on 10 listing appointments and you signed 1. Might have an opportunity for some scripts, right? We might need to get better at our listing presentation. So it's going to show you those conversions, and then it's also going to suggest classes based off your conversions to help you get better. So it's going to say, hey, we noticed that you're doing about 5 million and you've gone on X amount of appointments and now you want to go to 6 million based off your goals. Agents that took this class actually did it. Register here.
So in CGI right now, it doesn't seem to be real time. Is that going to change?
That's when CloudMore, when CloudMore goes live. Yep. All right, email campaigns. So email campaigns, you can sync MailChimp. So I have my MailChimp account linked because a lot of people are using it anyway. And you can send automatic email drip campaigns through this system. And again, it tracks it. So every time someone opens one, it'll add it to their contact card showing you that they actually opened and engaged with your email. Sketchhouse. All right, so Sketchhouse is where you can create the marketing materials. Now the cool part is KW's already created a ton of them for you, and they have a marketing agency in New York creating more. So there will be a lot of templates in there, so you won't have to reinvent the wheel. Yet you can go in and you can create flyers and postcards and things to add to your drip campaigns right here in Sketchhouse. So no more going out and using another platform like Canva or whatever you're using. One of those fun ones. All right. So then we've got landing pages. So landing pages are that one-to-one relationship. That's where you create a web page for everyone in your database that they can go to that has customized information for them based on the areas that they want to watch. All right, now these are the ones that are coming, and we'll just touch on these briefly. So your calendar. So the calendar is linked one way. So right now, when you put something on your calendar in Gmail, it will show up attached to a person. Soon we'll have it both ways, and it'll also link to the KW Connect calendar so that on your side dashboard it'll show everything coming up in one section. leverage. So this is going to be where you'll have a portal for those of you growing teams or attracting talent and recruiting and wanting to refer us people. You can have your talent in your leverage section, and say you go through the process and you realize, you know what, they're not the best fit for me, yet I think that maybe Kevin would really like this person or Sandra would really like them. You can actually go and refer them inside the portal, and it'll send all of their resume, their disc, everything, KPA right to them, and still be linked so that they can then decide if they're going to be a good fit for them moving forward as well. Listing consultation. So the listing consultation, we did a class on this a few weeks ago. This is where your listing and your consult, your presentation, everything, again, it's all going to be linked. So when you go and say that you're going to do a listing at 123 Main Street, you can type it in, it'll pull up all the information and all the comparables around it, and it's going to plug it right into that CMA for you. So it's going to do it right in real live time digitally. You can also print them. And you're going to be able to then take that information and deliver it to your client, and it's going to update in real time as comparables change and so on. And you can adjust all that and do the same thing that you can on other platforms. And then again, you'll have a separate tab for all of your listing management. So you'll be able to see your listings, what process they're in, and manage all of the information to communicate with your clients back and forth. Questions on the snapshots? We're going to dig into these. We're going to go a little fast because we're going to break them all down over the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, okay? Is that good with everybody? Yeah. All right, we'll do a quick overview of everything, and if you have a question, raise your hand. We'll jump to it. We're also going to take about 30 minutes at the end. I'm going to stick around for any other questions you guys have. All right, let's go to contacts. Okay, is this big enough for you guys to see? Do you want me to make it a little bigger, or?
Sorry.
We're going to see. You good? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so contacts. Your number one goal for all of you is to get your contacts into Command with addresses. And the reason we need addresses is because of the landing pages. Because then you can curate specific landing pages for all of your people based on where they live or where they want to move to, or maybe where they're interested in. So there's a couple different ways you can do that. When you log in and go to contacts, you can click import, and you can download a pre-populated CSV that's going to allow you to copy and paste all of the information into the columns, and then you can do a mass upload. Or you can go and add contacts one by one, or hire someone to do it who has a high school kid. Yeah?
We tried to do this after the last class.
Yeah.
We said contacts was ready. And it didn't carry everything else. We didn't get addresses, we didn't get any other information, just got the name.
So you cannot delete or change any columns. And if you change any columns, it will not. It's the same as eEdge,
Yeah.
how eEdge was.
Yeah.
The minute you change a column, it doesn't sync. So I had to do it 3 times before I realized which columns I was doing, and I just deleted them back out. So when you do, and I have it pulled up, we looked at it earlier. Here it is. So all of these columns at the top, you cannot move them, you cannot change them.
But they don't correspond with the eEdge columns.
Right, so you just copy and paste. So what? And I'll show you how you can sync from eEdge too. There's an easier way to sync from eEdge. So what you do is if you download from Top Producer or something else, all you do is go like this and copy the columns, copy and paste them to line up. And again, every Thursday, Heather, David, myself, Nick Dambry, and a bunch of other people are doing workshops where we're going to help you do this if you don't want to do it on your own. Heather can also sit with you one-on-one. So if you really don't want to do it on your own, that's okay. We'll sit with you. So you copy and paste into the column. So that's one way. The other way, through using eEdge, if you guys already have everything in eEdge or you have it somewhere else, you can sync it over automatically. So if you don't want to do the spreadsheet and you don't want to add one by one, you just go over here to Settings, and you can go down here, and you can sync eEdge.
Oh.
So you can click Connect. So I did this, and I forgot I had about 1,300 people in my database that I hadn't cleaned up in a while because I'd been using something else. So they were from back when I sold. And so I deleted them out and redid it again. However, it works, and it brings all their information over, and it syncs right up. The other cool thing is it'll sync back and forth. So as you're transitioning, when you update something in Command, it'll update in eEdge as well. Same thing here with PieSync. So say you have something else. You have a Top Producer, or you have Follow Up Boss, or you have one of those other ones, there's over 150 other contact management systems or systems. There it is.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That you can, I didn't even think to look for that earlier today. It's there. That you can then go and click on, link your account, and it'll sync everything back and forth. Everything. You can do your iCloud contacts, you can do any of that. Yes, ma'am?
Will it sync to Flex MLS?
Oh, I don't know that it'll sync Flex contacts. Yeah. Yeah.
Are they continuing to add?
They are, yes.
Okay.
The only, if you have one that is not on the list, shoot an email to support and to the one that you're using. They just have to request access and allow.
Great.
Usually it's on the other CRM side. They have to allow access.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on Edge, you have to do the whole thing. You can't bring like, you know how you could have different groups. You couldn't say.
It'll sync everyone over. Yeah. So that was the thing for me when I pulled it all over. I realized I had like 1,300 people, and I really only wanted you guys. And so don't tell my database. And yet I did, because I wanted to use you guys as our test group, all of our agents, to see how it functioned and ran. And so I pulled it all over and realized that it did. It pulled everyone. So what I did is I just downloaded the spreadsheet, sorted, and then copied and pasted in the spreadsheet. That for me was easier. However, for you guys, go in and clean up your databases. This is a great time to go in and scrub it, sort people out, put them into some groupings, because worst thing, it'll just pull them over, and then I'm going to show you in a minute how we sort them and create really awesome smart views, so you don't have to look at everybody all the time.
Does it take over doubles if you have doubles in your database, or
It'll
will
bring
it throw one
everybody
out?
over,
It will,
yeah.
okay.
It will bring them over. So that's another way that you guys can sync. And again, if you don't want to do this alone and you want us to work with you on it, Heather can schedule one-on-ones, and every Thursday at 2 we're going to do group labs where we help you merge them over. All right. So the other part about contacts that's really great is once you have everyone in here, you can go in and you can create all these custom tags to sort your people so that you can then easily sort and find everybody. So this is mostly, this is now sorted as just you guys. It's just our KW agents. And it's got all of these different tags. So I keep using Nick Dambry, and we're going to use him as an example. There he is. All right. So Nick Dambry. So this is what your contact cards are going to look like. So it's got all of his information here, his phone numbers and his email, address, his neighborhoods, and then here down here is custom fields. This came up this morning. So as you have different databases and you have certain fields that KW Command doesn't have automatically, you can create unlimited custom fields to have everybody's information right here. So what we did is we created fields because we had, I think I told you this morning, we have like 20 different spreadsheets to track all your information, your key cards and your this and your that. And I'm like, why do we still have this? So now we put them all in here under your contact card. And if you ever forget or need it, we've got it in your contact card instead of the 1,500 spreadsheets. So you can create as many as you'd like. Then you can also create your tags. And the tags are really important because this is how you're going to sort your database. So past clients, vendors, buyers, sellers, family, you name it, however honed in you want it, do it.
Shannon?
Yep.
If they're the custom fields area, if I have custom fields, let's say in Follow Up Boss, and it's not one of the predetermined columns, is it a good idea to create your custom fields first in Command and then create basically a column with that heading? And then will it
If
find
you're gonna
the right
do it, yeah.
heading?
If you're gonna do it Excel-wise, then
Yeah.
yes. If you're gonna do PySync, it should add it as a custom field. Like if you do the automatic PySync,
Yeah.
where it pulls it over digitally, the thing we just showed,
Yeah.
then it'll create the fields and it should pull all your information over. But if you're gonna do it the spreadsheet version, then yes. Create the custom fields you want, because you can just go under your settings here. And that's what I did, is I just started typing them all out. Custom tags. And you start typing them out. You can even make them different colors. Look at that.
About tags or fields?
Tags. Tags are fields. Sorry, they're the same thing. Custom tags and custom fields are like groups.
Right.
Fields, groups, tags, it's all one.
So I heard this morning that there was an issue importing tags, using the spreadsheet and or Excel. Do you know if that's
I haven't done one in a little bit.
Okay.
If you have issues, we'll do some testing on it and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you said you couldn't change the columns in that spreadsheet.
You can't delete any out or change them. There is one where you can add your tags though. If you look at the spreadsheet, you can add your custom tags. You'll see it says like user tags or something, and you can add those there. Yeah. You just can't go and delete or change or move them around. Yeah.
So I wanna get that straight, you're using that as a template,
Mm-hmm.
that spreadsheet as a template?
Yep.
And so we can go up, you're saying we can or we can't change those headings? Can't.
No, don't change the headings. You
Yeah.
can, under user tags, you can add what tags you want. You don't want to change the headings. Now, for you guys, we just saw ACT, so we'll be able to just link it, which is great. So, and that's the easiest way to do it, is just to sync the current system that you're using, and then it'll pull both information, it'll feed back and forth until you're ready to get rid of that system and use command. So they'll talk to each other until you're ready.
And it will do that if you go to settings.
Yep, settings, and then right here when you come into
Sync
settings,
EDge.
you go down to PySync.
Oh, so it's not sync EDge then? It's not connected?
If you're
Yeah.
using EDge, it's this one, yep,
Okay.
EDge right here, or PySync if you have a different one.
Yeah.
Yep. So then when you're in your contacts, the reason you want to have the tags is because you can create, oh, come on. You can create these smart views. So I have smart views created, there we go, based off of what I want to see. So you can click on all contacts, so that when you come in, all your contacts pop up. Or I have you guys as my starred and preferred one, KW agents. So when I log in, automatically the first people I see in my database are you guys. So vendors are hidden, everybody else is hidden, until I go to one of the smart views. You can also go to your filters, and you could add, I could say, okay, yeah, that's great, but I also want to see Portland. Anyone who's in Portland. And I can apply, and it's going to sort it and shrink it down and show me all the people associated with Portland, who are tagged Portland. And so here's all your sort and filters, and then I could save that as another smart view. So I could say KW agents - Portland. So you can create all of these smart views so that all you have to do is come in here and click smart views, and it'll show your people that you want for each one. Yes, question and then question. That's okay.
So you bring your database over as a whole, and then you have your different tags.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get, like, say if you have your lawyers and your bankers and this and that, when do you separate those? You have to go in and manually do that? Or?
So that's what we were just talking about with the groups and the tags, is if you set those up ahead of time,
Okay.
and then when you sync, it pulls them over. So it'll
Okay.
pull the groups and the tags over. So for me, I did it manually to learn it. However, once you have it, when you do the PySync, it pulls that over. Or if you do the spreadsheet, you can create those tags ahead of time, and then you just go and add it to the user one, and it'll pull over.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
CJ and then Deb. Yep.
So in the KW app, we have the Homekeeper app where we keep all of our vendors in there. Is there gonna be a way to pull that in? Because those are all categorized by vendors she was talking about. Can I just pull right in?
Let me add a note. I'm not sure about Homekeeper.
Okay.
Let me add a note to my thing to ask them.
Well, they said online they thought that KW was working on that.
I'm
integrating.
sure they were. I'll triple. I'm gonna write down any questions you guys have that I'm not sure of, and we'll ask support. Deb?
So, I just talked to research, and I liked, contact types the best.
Yeah.
Because then you can add different individuals to different groups really quickly. And then I have a ton of different contact types. Is that gonna be a difficulty?
No, we can help you. We can sit with you and help you merge them over to make sure that you get your contact tabs. It's just gonna be a matter of making sure they're created in here, because you can have unlimited tags. So then you can have people with 20 different tags if you wanted. So we can just help you with that. If it doesn't all sync right over properly, we'll just delete it out and we'll help you merge it over. Same goes for anyone. So you can easily just go in and delete them and redo. Yeah. Any other questions? All right, so that's the rough overview of contacts. Okay, so that's the quick rough overview. So we're gonna keep going. All right, so referrals we're gonna touch on just so you guys can see it. So this is, say you have a referral for someone in, where? Florida? A lot of people leave Maine to go to Florida, right? All right, so you can go in here and you can find your network, anyone in your network, and you can also go to the map. So I can say, let's go to Boca. Oh, and see, it's going to pull up Nikki. So Nikki is in my referral network, and Nikki's in Boca Raton. Or I could see all these other people that are not in my network that maybe I want to refer to. So you can go in here and you can filter the agents, you can broadcast a referral, you can send referrals, it's going to track it, and then it's also going to link to your system so that if you sent the referral out, then their office will be notified and they'll just automatically send us a check. Same goes for us, is if you get a referral from someone externally, it'll already be notated, you don't have to put it on the green sheet or anything, it's all going to be linked, and we'll send the referral down to them. So this is a great platform for you because you can track everything in one system, and you can send and receive. Yeah?
Do we still need W-9s?
So they're going to be integrating that in here so that it would all be like authorized signing kind of done. For now, if they need one, and so then yes, you would still need to just send it. But you can send them through the system as well. You can attach the file and send it off. Yeah. So the good news is it tracks it too, and it shows you if they've accepted the referral, shows you where they are in the process, so you can now keep track of your referrals that you've sent out without having to email or text them and say, hey, what's going on here? All right, so that's the really rough overview of referrals. All right, opportunities. We're going to really dig into this one. Okay, so this is going to be your pipeline and where you track your deals. So as you initiate relationships with clients, let's say you are calling and you get a potential listing. Who in here wants potential listing? Put your hands up, everyone. Come on. I know it's late in the day. Let's get some energy. Okay, so you get a potential listing. So now we're going to select, you guys will all have Greater Portland as your option. It's a listing. Who's the client? Well, let's use Nick again. We used him this morning too. They upped his price point. It was great. All right, so Nick is selling. You can name it whatever you'd like. Nick listing 123 Main. Yes, with an E. Expected closing date. All right, so we're probably not going to actually put this listing live till March 1st. So when is it probably going to close? I love it. All right, let's put April 30th. Let's just say. All right, the commission percent, 3%. I'm getting 6. I'm giving 3. We are in the appointment phase, and the appointment is scheduled. I haven't gone on the appointment yet. I'm going on Thursday. Okay, so we have scheduled this appointment, and all I know is it's 123 Main, Falmouth. Awesome. No description. I'm good. Create the opportunity. All right, so here we are. Now we're in the portal. It keeps doing this. All right, so now we're in the portal. And I can go here and I can upload any document. So say I've prepared a CMA for him, or I have notes, or I have the old MLS sheet, whatever it is. I can go here and I can upload that document into the system so that I have it in his portal. Then, as you go through the process, here's going to be all of our compliance paperwork in here as well. So we have access to edit these on the back end, and we'll go in and we will have the complete compliance checklist in there so that you'll have what's required. And you'll add a document, and then we can put samples and notes and so on. So like we have in .loop when you create a template, it's going to be the same thing right here. So you'll be able to just upload your contracts right in here and have everything compliant. You can also add your own. You can have your custom folders if you want to keep track in here and upload all of your text message conversations and your emails. However, what's the really cool part?
It has the emails on there already.
Yeah. I love that part because think about it, compliance-wise, all your communication with your clients is actually going to be recorded into Command. If you text through Kelly, which is really smart, and if you email, it'll be tracked. As long as you have their email in Command, it'll track it. So really cool. So now the communication piece, it's all right there. And if you also wanted to be super safe and screenshot and upload, do that too. All right. So now let's go back and let's say that we're in opportunities. All right. So now Nick is not scheduled anymore. We're going to edit him and we're going to move him all the way to under contract. His paperwork's been signed. We're going to save. We're going to move it over. So now he shows, oh, I didn't put his, what's the price right? Anyway, oh, it's saved. There we go. So now we're gonna go back here to our opportunities, and now he's showing under contract. And the reason it's showing 0, guys, is because I didn't link one of my KWLS listings, because I don't have any. So it'll link your KWLS listing to that property, and it'll show the volume, and it'll show the percent to be closed. So as you go through the process, you're gonna move them along, and the really cool part is it's gonna link to your smart plans, so it's gonna send them updates as they move through the process. So if you've got an under contract or an because we're talking about listings, an active timeline checklist, when you move them to active, that's going to trigger, and they're going to get that message saying, all right, here's what's coming next. We've listed your property. We're going to be calling you to schedule photos. We're going to be coming and putting the sign in the yard. We're going to be doing all of these things, and it's going to notify them for you. So as you move them through the process. Questions? Jump in. Yep.
Will these items be templates that are already set up? Can we edit them to our liking for reminders and all that?
You can do so much customization. It's almost crazy. And there's templates in there. So like, for example, when you look at my different opportunity phases, I scaled it way back to only like 2 different, like I only have scheduled or kept. In the appointment phase, the template that you'll have when you log in is like 3 or 4 different phases in appointment. And you can put your percentages in too to say, okay, if I schedule an appointment, 50% chance that they'll keep the appointment. And if they keep the appointment, there's a 10% chance that they'll do X. And so you can create and customize as much as you want, and there's a baseline template if you don't want to. So you can just move them through the process.
Do you know if you can drag and drop documents just a little?
You can, yeah. Yeah, I clicked on it, but you can drag and just drop it right in there, and it's, yeah, just like .loop. Juliana, you have a question? No, it's okay. Ask away.
No,
I love it.
I hate to bring up this commission thing, but I know it's going to come up. So when you put your commission in there because you have a buyer, is that why you put 3%? Like
yeah, I put 3 is what I'll get paid. So then if I go back in here, I'll show you actually.
Sorry,
so no, that's okay. When
up.
I first create it, it just shows like what have I expected to earn.
Okay.
So I put 3% down here. Buyer's agent commission. I didn't fill it in.
Because
once you save it and it moves to active, once you actually take the listing, then it'll ask you how much buyer agent commissioning, what's the closing cost estimated, what's their mortgage balance, so on, and it'll actually calculate a net sheet for them.
But that's really once you go under contract.
Once you move it to active, I just skip that step.
Okay.
When you're in the appointment phase, when you first create it, you just put what you're going to be receiving, and then you go in and you put what you're offering on the buy side. So you put 3, and then it'll calculate it all out for you based off the listing price.
So
linked to KWLS.
So if you go further in and you have both sides of the transaction, it's going to know.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's where I was getting.
Yep.
So for now, we continue in .loop, or do we start putting it in now?
Continue in .loop for another little bit, because right now the only thing that I can edit on the back end for the compliance side is listings. So I can't edit the buyer contracts just yet. So for right now, yeah, continue with .loop. However, soon we'll be merging it over. And if you want to still use opportunities to track yourself, it just won't do the compliance side. So like Nick Danbury, and I use him as an example, is using this to track his deals. He's just still putting the paperwork in .loop.
So we still use the green sheets until.
Yep, yeah, and again, all of the, I'm going to pull up the timeline so you guys can see the timeline of when everything's going to be released. I have a photo of that so you can see the reason we can't remove green sheets yet, and we can't have all of this synced to the MCA office yet, is because we profit share. So that's been the blessing for why we can have all this data, and yet the whole company needs to switch to Cloudmore at the exact same time, because I have some people in my profit share tree in Tennessee and in Maine and in wherever, Kentucky I think it is. And so if our office switches and they don't, it'll mess up that whole system. And so at 4th quarter is when everything can change over on the office side, so that everything will be integrated into one. Yes, CJ?
So at Family Reunion, I know that Josh put up a slide that said these are the 5 things that we want people to do now in this phase.
We have a bunch of that printed.
Okay,
yep. Yeah, we have a takeaway for all of you. David printed off a big packet of information so you can have some step-by-step stuff. Yeah. Yes?
So, when you put your listing agreement in, I mean, are those all fillable docs, so you can just go in, fill out your listing agreement, get signatures, all of that's right in the
So
system?
not right now, because here's the thing. We should probably turn the live stream off. We have certain agreements in place with other companies that we currently utilize that we can't conflict with.
Okay.
So come fourth quarter, yes.
You'll be able to.
Yes. So the goal is that it will all work seamlessly, where you'll have your contracts in command, and they'll be fillable, and Kelly can actually read them and pull the information out of them and submit it to the office for you. You can sign in there, all of that stuff. We just can't do it right now because of other contracts we have in place. That's all I can say.
So Shannon, will our information from those other sites be uploaded into Command?
So if contact management systems, you can do PySync. When you're talking about the information from any contract systems that we use to currently do our office compliance,
Yes.
no. However, what we as an office have access to everything, and we've already talked about downloading everything to a hard drive so that we have it all on file just in case. So,
Fantastic.
yeah. And again, as we get closer, that's not until October, because September is the expiration of things. So, yeah. And then that's the whole great part is we'll be able to do signing, you'll be able to do auto population. Then she'll go in, she'll read your contracts. She can already read contracts in 2 states, and by she I mean Kelly, which is the artificial intelligence. She can read the contracts and actually pull out the closing date, pull out the list price, pull out all of that information and submit it to the office. So that's why green sheets are going away, because she's just going to read it straight from the contracts. Any other questions on any of that? All right, so let's keep going. All right, lead accelerator. Leave, I don't care about the changes. Let's do this. All right, so this is where you can create the marketing campaigns. So let's see if I have any archive to look at. Yeah, all right. So you can create all types of different campaigns on here. So we're gonna do test 1. You can create Facebook ads, you can create links, Instagram, so on and so forth, or you can do real mailers. So real mailers are cool because they're the physical mailers that go out. So who in here is already sending out postcard mailers? What sites are you using?
Vistaprint.
Vistaprint, Quantum, Sensations, Edge, Every Door Direct, USPS. Okay, so there's a lot of them. And here's the thing, you can't really track what you've sent unless you keep record of it, right? In like a spreadsheet or something. So let's say we want to go out and we want to do real mailers and we want to advertise a listing. Now, bear with me on this because, again, I don't have any listings, so we're going to have to pull someone else's random listing in and edit it.
Nick.
Yeah, we'll put one of Nick's in there. All right, so search for a listing. So, again, it's showing my listings. We're not going to do that. We're going to show all listings. Let's just pick one. Alberta, that looks like a great one. All right, so we're going to select the listing. And we're going to pick one of these beautiful templates, and it's going to show you the cost that it's going to be for each postcard based on the size and based on the mailing. The cool part is it's pretty much the same price as if you were sending it somewhere else. It's just all in the system. So let's go ahead and do the KW Compact one. And we're going to select a picture. And we're going to upload. There we go, the lobster. That'll work. Low res, I know it's low, that's okay. There's the street, we're gonna do this test, listing price, bedrooms, bathrooms.
Half a bedroom.
Well, it is a lobster.
Yeah, he doesn't need a whole bed.
Okay, fine. 1 bedroom but 1.5 baths. Okay. I mean, the list price is like $39,000.
Hopefully the water.
This is a great lobster. It's golden.
Hopefully the water won't be too hot in the bedroom.
Oh my gosh.
Bathing is important to it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. All right, there we go. Upload. All right, we're gonna enter cell phone 20. Whoops. Okay. Yep, there it is. Cell phone 207. Sure. There we go. All right, so we're uploading all this information. You go through. Put the lobster again if you can find him. There we go. All right. Create and customize. What is it? Oh, whoops. do a little compliance, of course. Portland, 50 Silver Street, that's good. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. It's not finding my address.
Try taking it when the list pops up.
It's
Try-
not, no list is popping up though, which is the weird.
Right,
See,
right
like
under
that?
Yeah.
It's not.
I think he needs to, it might be ST or something.
Well,
Who knows?
it's not though. That's weird. It's my street. It's okay. We'll just see if we can't bypass this guy. Let's just pick any.
It won't allow you to tap.
Let's try Indiana.
Everything else left.
Now click one of
Just
those.
click one of those.
Yeah, I did that, and then it's to see there's still
Yeah.
that guy there, so it's being a little
Oh.
glitchy on this for me. So that's okay. We'll change property. Who in here has a listing?
Pretty normal.
Give me an address.
31 Main Street in Gray. Gonna say that's big.
That one?
Well,
This one?
Yep.
There we go. That's okay. Selected this, we selected that. Alright, let's see if it filled in everything else. Cell phone, 207, 245. Alright, maybe it's because it didn't match. Main. What's the zip of Gray, guys?
Oh,
439, thank you. See, it's just gonna be glitchy. That's okay. I'll show you another one. Yes, save as draft. Alright. So what I'll show you though is what it does. So once you get through that system and you pop it in, it's probably just because I have to reset my cookies on my browser. I'm learning a lot of those techie terms, guys. Cookies are not just snacks. Alright. Thank you. You laughed. Thank you. Thank you. Alright. So let's go to users. Gary Keller. So I'll show you on his video what it looks like. So once you get through and you put that information in and you link it up, then you get this map view. And you can start to do, you can start to narrow it in so that you can do, you can select like this home, you only want to send it to homes that haven't sold in the past 5 years. You only want to send it to homes that are 2 beds with 2 baths, not 0.5 and 1.5. And so you would narrow it all in, and then you can pick how many homes you want to send it to in that area. And so what it's going to do is it's going to start pulling up for you to see this map grid that you can start honing. Where's the listing one? Listing. Here we go.
Lead accelerator, campaign name, and then when you come down a little bit lower, you can, based on a dollar amount, what is a dollar spent on Facebook, or what basic contacts in a price, bedrooms, bathrooms.
All right.
Here's the description we have. You can put your company information in, then at the same time be able to put a specific agent's image in there if you want to do that. And then we're also going to have postcard templates, because we know that all agents don't want to see these the same way. But you're going to be able to create your own templates, put your own images in here, and make this really feel like it's your brand. So you're going to come in here, you're going to click next, it's going to start generating this postcard for you.
So here's
You're
what
gonna be
it'll
able to
look
target
like.
who you
This is what we
specifically wanna
almost
send
got
this
to.
So hey, I want to send this to the closest 500 homes. You know, maybe I want to send it to all houses or single family or multifamily homes. I want to determine, okay, I only want 3 to 5 bedrooms. I want between 1,200 and 1,400 square feet. The year built. I only want some newer houses. Also, what did it last sell for? So next, you just hit next, determine your area. It looked like this, and it expand or contract. We also give you the capability to draw whatever area. If you only want these certain streets, you're going to be able to do that with this. Next step, it will generate this postcard for you, and that is our lead accelerator tool. And really excited about where that's going. How can you?
Then the cool part is too, as you expand or bring in the search fields, it's going to tell you exactly how much it is before you approve and send. So you can actually see if you send it to 500 people, it's going to cost this, or if you scale it back and it's 200 people, it's going to cost this. So that's what it'll look like. So you guys can do it all right in there. And again, it's going to track that you did that in the system, and it's going to track your return on investment, because when you get a lead or a call from that, you're going to say that you did it through one of these mailers, and then it's going to also say, okay, so you're getting a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1 return on your mailers, you should probably keep doing this. Or, hey, you didn't get any leads from this, maybe you shouldn't keep doing this. So that's the beauty of having it all in one system. All right, so then the last thing we're going to go through is I'm going to show you guys Sketchhouse. And so this is where you can create those marketing materials. So there's a ton of templates in here that they're adding, and they're adding more and more every single day. So you can see these are all anything that has a KW was created by Keller Williams. Anything, and they might have deleted them out. There were some that other people had created that you can use that were showing up in here as well. So you can click on one, and you can start editing it and going through all the different features and benefits here. It's going to show you what it's going to look like on a computer, a tablet, and an iPhone or smartphone. And you can edit, make it look exactly like you want, and then you can copy over to your sketches. And then you can put it in categories, like what type is it? It's a market snap, we're going to confirm. And it's going to go into my sketches where I can edit it, customize it to myself, and send it out to my database or add it to a drip campaign. So this is going to take the place of the MyKW marketing that we had, and it's really incredible because it's going to link the data from your listings over. So as you go in here, this is the one we just copied over, we can start configuring all these different columns, and you can add content, you can add widgets, so like a CMA or a lead form if you want to capture leads from this email, and so on. And so you can make it, you can customize it and tweak it as much as you want, or you can leave it like this. And then you'll save and configure it, and you could email it right out or add it to a campaign. Okay, so I'm going to pause there because we're at 3:03. However, I am going to stay here as long as you have questions. So if you guys have questions, feel free to shout them out and ask, or go ahead and go and watch the calendar every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Almost every single Tuesday, I'll be teaching all of these things in depth. And then Thursdays at 2 o'clock, we're going to have the labs where you can come and workshop it, and or schedule a time with Heather, or we can set up a small group where you can do it one-on-one to get these things transferred, all right?
The picture you talked about for the timeline, is
Oh,
that in the
thank you.
handout, or?
Nope. Here it is. Sorry, so one last thing. Here's the timeline of when things are going to be released. Oh, yep. Yep. Yes, ma'am. All right. So here's the timeline of everything that's going to be released. If you guys want this, I can email it to you too.
Is it in the
It's not in the packet, I don't think. David, is the timeline in the packet? No? Okay. So I'll post this on our Facebook group so you guys have it, so you guys can see it. So that's already here. That's
Oh, that's already on here.
Yep, that's Kelly.
So like I was following along with you, but I heard from Monday.
Yeah.
Is that why I'm not seeing any of the templates and stuff? So what's my contact in?
Yeah. All right, what other questions? I'm going to go ahead and turn this off though. You're welcome. I think that's it. Is that how we stop it?